Political Insiders are here in the studio. Tony May and Charlie Giroux. Guys, as always, thanks for being here.
Donald Trump.
Yep.
Officially in. Charlie?
The little boy who cried wolf. Maybe this time it's real. He's told us in cycle after cycle, I'm running for president. He never actually got onto the ballot anywhere. He's now locked into the starting gates. When it opens, let's see if he's on the track.
Tony, is he a threat?
Well, here's a man who's been bankrupt 4 times, and he wants to run the United States government. That's probably good training.
He should be a Democrat.
Now, come on, bankrupt or not, net worth of $9 billion?
Very doubtful.
I want to call his bank and find that out.
I've never counted his money. Tony might have, but he doesn't. I don't believe. I'd have to check this. I don't believe he shows up on the Forbes 500 list. And if he was worth anywhere near that, he'd be on there. This is his own self-acclaimed net worth. And there's kind of an interesting nuance to this. It just seems like an ego-driven personality has to thrust out there, you know, this is how much I'm worth, when that's worked against candidates. I mean, Mitt Romney was eschewed because he was wealthy. Donald Trump saying, I'm infinitely more wealthy.
He said it, and he prefaced it by saying, I don't need the money from the lobbyists. Is that going to help him at all?
No, because every candidate running for president is wealthy in his or her own right, and I don't think that works at all. Unless he's going to bankroll his own campaign. That'll be interesting.
Did he say that? He's going to bankroll?
Yeah. That's what he said.
This I've got to see. Developers never use their own money.
I tell you, I'm amazed at how the political, you guys, the pundits, I don't want to use that word necessarily, but nobody's taking them seriously today.
I know.
Oh, well, let's move on.
It's Donald Trump, though. We'll see.
We have money to talk about at the state capitol. Budget time is, we're running right down to the deadline. And apparently it was released yesterday that they have agreed on the deficit that they're going to have to incorporate into the budget for this year, $1.9 billion.
1.2.
1.2. Yes, you're right.
What's interesting about that, Rob, Senator Everett Dirksen used to say $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. This is more than $1 billion less than what Tom Wolf told us it was. And there's some question as to whether or not, in point of fact, it rises that high. This is an agreed upon number. But when the Independent Fiscal Office said, no, Governor Wolf, it's not as high as you said, he came out with all this nonsense and malarkey about we've got better data and better numbers, et cetera, et cetera. Now they've had to walk this back once again. This has been a very bad week for Tom Wolf. Marcus Brown, Eric Arneson, the budget numbers, it's all been these hard-line positions that the administration has taken from which they've had to ultimately retreat.
Well, let's talk about Marcus Brown and Arneson, if you don't mind, Tony.
Okay.
If you wanted to comment on that, go ahead.
That's fine. Let him have his fun.
Go ahead, you can comment.
No, Marcus Brown, I threw in the towel. I think he was concerned about his family. He wants to live a life. He's got the police union against him. The police union was able to persuade the Republican Party in the Senate that they had to side with unions and go against Marcus Brown. They did. It's done. This clears the way for the governor to search for a new and acceptable choice.
Eric Arneson back at the Office of Open Records. Now, this was contested and he won his case. Now the Wolf administration is going to appeal that ruling. Do you think they'll aggressively pursue that?
I do. What was interesting, though, Rob, was they immediately said, we're going to appeal this. They had 30 days, and within hours, we're going out there. And they took this very aggressive stance, which made them appear petty and small-minded, taking away his phone, and they're going to lock him out of his office and all this nonsense, which, again, they've had to walk back because, frankly, it was the wrong thing to do. Now, cooler heads have prevailed, but it would politically have been far better for the Wolf administration if cooler heads had prevailed in the first instance rather than after a week had elapsed.
It's a good sign that there's going to be a real attempt to concentrate in a bipartisan way on settling the budget mess. There's a lot to be done. I mean, there's everything to be done. We still have to make a decision on pensions, on school funding, on
liquor privatization.
And there's expanded gaming that we've been talking about, and the shale tax. I mean, any one of those is enough to become an impasse builder for the budget. We've got them all standing in front of us. The legislature is going to try to the Senate's going to try to move some liquor legislation this week. They've already got the pension legislation in the House. We're getting down to crunch time.
A long way to go in a short time to get there.
Thanks, guys. Tony May, Charlie Giroux. You can see our Political Insiders Tuesday right here on CBS 21 News.
And Sunday mornings at 11:30, join us for CBS 21's Face the State, right after CBS's Face the Nation.